Camera number 16 of 365, the Mamiya ZE. Mamiya ZE requires batteries for operation that are fitted in the base of the camera there, but it does have a manual shutter speed of what seems to be somewhere in the region of a 90th or 100th of a second. So should the batteries fail, you can fall back on that shutter speed and continue to use the film, which is a very nice feature. To take the lens off, simply press the button on the right hand side there and rotate anti-clockwise. We have the self-timer button, which is pushed down, and then you have to push it back up to start it. There we go. So let's just put the lens back on the camera. Turning to the top of the camera, we have film speeds along the side here. Just turning, rotating the. Actually, you have to pull the dial up. Beg your pardon. Pull the dial up to rotate it. We also have exposure compensation of +2 and -2, and there is a little lock button there which we have to press, and then we can turn the dial and dial in some exposure compensation. Turning to the right, we have the dial. The camera is an aperture priority, and so you change the aperture and the camera will tell you the shutter speed through the viewfinder. On the right hand side there's a series of numbers that correspond to the shutter speeds the camera has, and then you'll find a light that will either blink or not blink. You can change to X for your flash, and you have bulb mode as well. And wind on and shutter actuation button. So let's put some batteries in the camera. The ZE has a slightly unusual battery compartment in that it's like a little carrier which contains 4 LR44 batteries. So if we can get this undone, we'll put the batteries with the plus terminals facing up. And as I said, they're LR44 batteries, so they go in there. Squish that down, and then we line the dot to the dot, so it can only go in one way. And now we have a light meter and a camera that works according to the shutter or the aperture that we choose. Let's now put some film in the camera. So to get to the compartment for the film, we just lift up the rewind crank. Film in. Nope, that's not going to work. Let's try that again. And then we can rewind the film back into the canister by pressing the button on the base of the camera. And that's camera number 16, the Mamiya ZE.